Welcome back, Math 10. Today we're going to look at the products of polynomials, or using products of polynomials to help us solve problems. So here's our first one. We want to find the area of this shape here. Okay? Now if we find area, it'd be like multiplying these together. It should end up becoming in this form. Alright? Now first I want to look at what kind of shapes do we have here. I have two shapes. If I divide this way, I'm going to end up having a rectangle like this right here. Okay, I have this rectangle, and I have right here a trapezium. Okay, or trapezoid. So those are my two shapes. Now, to solve for these two shapes, though, I have to be careful. I look at this here. Is there a way to find that height? Yes, there is. I first need to find all the dimensions of both shapes. So this height here is the same as, we have 3x plus 6 is this distance, and this distance here is x plus 4. So this height is going to be 3x plus 6 minus subtract x plus 4. That's going to give me 2x, so that's 2x, and I want plus 2 is this height here. Now I want to find this height from here to here. Well, I look at this whole distance is 4x plus 9. This distance here is 2x plus 3. So I have to, if I take this distance, subtract this, this will give me that green. Okay? So I go 4x plus 9, and I want to take away 2x plus 3, which will give me 2x plus 6. So this distance here is 2x plus 6. Alright? So now, let's look at this more, and I might even say there is a secondary triangle here. Right? We could even break it down that way, where this little distance here is, well, we have 2x plus, or sorry, we have x plus 4, take away that, which will give me x plus 2. Okay? So let's try and solve this out now. So for my area, I have a rectangle. I have the area of a rectangle. Then I have the area plus the area of another rectangle. Then I have the area of a triangle. We could also do it in a trapezoid, but I'm going to go this way because I think it's a little bit easier. So this one here is just my pink. This here is going to be my green. And this here is my pink and green. Just put that right there. This is pink and green. This is my combination of pink and green. Okay? So, let's start solving this out here. What is the area of a rectangle? That's going to be base times height. Area of another rectangle is base times height. Area of a triangle is base times height divided by 2. So let's fill out everything we have here. This is my green. This here is my pink. And this guy here is a combination of green and pink. Okay, so that one's a combination. Now let's try and solve these out. Okay? Well, what is the base and height of this pink one? Well, this is the base, this is my height, so it's 2x plus 3 multiplied by 3x plus 6. Okay? Now, let's take a look at the base, or my little rectangle here. Well, this whole distance here, well, if that's x plus 2, then this whole distance here is going to be x plus 4, right? Because we have that right there and right there. So I have x plus 4 and 2x plus 2. And then this last one here is going to be x plus 2 and 2x plus 2. So let's add, and that's divided by 2, right? Because now we're doing the triangle. And we have 2x plus 2. And we divide that by 2. Okay? So, what is each of these shapes? So now we're done all of them. This was my pink. This was my green. And this was my green and pink. The triangle. Okay? So, let's combine all these together. I'm going to use my distributive property. That's going to give me 2x multiplied by 3x will give me 6x squared. Okay? Then I have to go 2x multiplied by 6 will be plus 12x. Then 3 multiplied by 3x will give me 9x plus 9x. And then I'm going to have to go 3 multiplied by 6 is plus 18. Okay, now we have to add this next part here we're going to do. So I have x plus 4 multiplied by 2x plus 2. So x times 2x will give me 2x squared. Then I have to go x times 2, which is going to be plus 2x. Then I must go 4 times, which 2 is just plus 8x. And then 4 times 2 is plus 8. And now my last one here I must do. So this part's done. So we have those done. So my last one here is a triangle I'm going to add. We're going to have x times 2x will give me 2x squared. Then I'm going to have x times 2, which is going to give me plus 2x. And then I'm going to have 2 times 2, which is plus 4x. And then I'm going to have 2 times 2, which is plus 4. All right? And this part here is all divided by 2. So let's combine the like terms of each one of these in the brackets, and we're going to combine them one more time. So we have 6x squared plus 21x plus 18. Okay. Now here I'm going to have 2x squared plus 10x plus 18. Oh, plus 8. Okay. And now this one here, I have 2x squared plus, so we have plus 6x plus 4. And this is all divided by 2. All right, so I'm going to just have to do this all the way down over here a bit. So now let's combine my like terms. First I'm going to simplify that one. I'm going to combine these and then divide that. So I'm going to have 6x squared plus 2x squared is going to give me 8x squared. And then this must be divided by 2, so that's really only 1x squared. So I have 9x squared. Okay? Now 21x squared plus 10x squared is 31. 31x. And then here is going to have to only be 3 because it's divided by 2. So we have 31 plus 3 is plus 33x. Okay? Oh, 34x. 31 plus 3 is 34. Then I'm going to have 18 plus 8 is going to give me 26. Plus another 2 is going to give me plus 28. And here is my equation. That's a 4. Okay? Now, the next part says, if x is 2.5, calculate the area. So I have to go 9, 2.5 squared plus, multiplied by 2.5 plus 28. So let's multiply that out. I'm going to have 9 multiplied by 2.5 squared, and push enter. Then we want to plus 34 multiplied by 2.5. And then I also want to add 28. And that gives me 169.25 units. And that's units squared because we're looking at area. Okay? So let's try my next one here. It says, a rectangular garden with a length of 8 minus 3a meters and a width of this contains 3 flower beds, each with a side length of 2a plus 5 meters. The remainder of the garden is grass. Okay, so we want to first draw a diagram that represents this. So we have a garden like this with 3 flower beds. And these are squares. So it looks something like that. Now, each of these flower beds are 2a plus 5. Okay? Each flower bed is 2a plus 5. And we have right here, the length is 8 minus 3a. And my height is going to be a plus a. A plus 8. Okay? Now it says, write and simplify an expression for the area of the garden. Well, the area of the garden, we have base times height of my big, right? The big thing right here of the box. And then we want to subtract my 3 boxes there, which are going to be, there's 3 base times height of the smalls, and those are actually squared. Okay? So I do this now. I want to find it. So what is my base and my height? I'm going to end up getting 8 minus 3a multiplied by a plus 8. Okay? Now I want to subtract 3 multiplied by 2a plus 5 multiplied by 2a plus 5. Okay? So I'm going to have negative 8 times a, which will give me 8a. And then I'm going to have 8 times 8, which will give me 64. Then negative 3 times a, which will give me minus 3a squared. You can see that's 64. And then negative 3 times negative times 8, which will give me minus 24a. Alright? Now, we want to subtract, and we're looking at 3 here. But before I do that, I could multiply this out. And if you remember from the last lesson, we have a little shortcut for this. I square this, because this is the same thing squared. So I'm going to have 4a squared. And then I have to go this times this, which is 10 times 2 plus 20a. And then I go this and this, which is plus 25. Square that one. Okay? Now, let's multiply everything out and simplify everything. Here, I'm going to end up with negative 3a squared. And then I'm going to have 8a and 24a, which will be minus 16a. And then we have left with plus 64, positive 64. Now I want to subtract negative 3 multiplied to everything, which will give me 12, negative 12a squared. Then negative 3 times 20 is minus 60a. And then negative 3 times that will be minus 75. Okay? So let's combine these all together. Negative 3a squared and 12a squared will give me negative 15a squared. Okay? I have negative 16a, and we have negative 60a. Well, that's going to end up giving me negative 76a. Okay? And then my last one here is, now we have 64 and negative 75. This is going to end up giving me negative 11. So there here is my equation. Now it says determine if a is negative 1.5. So I'm going to have negative 15. And then I have negative 1.5 squared minus 76 multiplied by negative 1.5. And then minus 11. So let's see what that equals. Punch that into my trusty calculator. So I'm going to have negative, bracket, negative 1.5. And I want to square that. That's going to give me 2.25 times 15. And that's going to be negative, so that's negative 33.75. So we have negative 33.75. Now I want to subtract, but this will be adding instead because the negative times the negative. So I'm going to go 76 times 1.5, which will end up giving me 114. And I want to subtract 11. So we go subtract 11, and I'm going to subtract 33.75, and that's going to end up getting me 69.25. And this is in meters squared. Okay? And that's how we do that one. Last question of the day. Here it says, the hypotenuse of a right triangle is 5x plus 5. Okay, so we know the hypotenuse of a right triangle is 5x plus 5 centimeters long. Okay? Now, and the lengths of the other two sides are 4x plus 8 and 3x minus 5. Okay? For the equation, solve and determine the lengths of the three sides of the triangle. Well, looking at this here, I know c squared is equal to a squared plus b squared. So let's make an equation, see if this could help us solve it. So I'm going to have 5x plus 5. I want to square that is equal to 3x subtract 5. And we're going to square that. Then we want to plus 4x plus 8. And we are going to square this one. Okay? So let's do our little cheats here. So this is going to give me 25. Right? 25x, 5x squared. And then that times that is 25 times 2 is plus 50x. And then here we're going to end up getting plus 25. Okay? Here we have a subtraction, and it's being squared. So I'm going to end up getting 9x squared. 3 times 5 is 15, so that's minus 30x. And then 5 squared is plus 25. And we have to add that to this one here. Well, that's going to give me 16x squared. This times this is going to be 32. 32 times 2 is 64. So that's plus 64x. And then 8 squared is plus 64. Okay? Now let's combine these together. Combine both sides. This side's already combined. We still have 25x squared plus 50x plus 25. But now this side here, we're going to be 9x squared, which is 25x squared. Negative 30x and 64 will give me 34x. So that's going to be plus 34x. And then we have 25 plus 64 is 89. Okay? Now, let's see what we could do. I want to subtract 25x squared from both sides. So take away 25x squared, take away 25x squared. These are going to go goodbye, so I'm going to be left with 50x plus 25 is equal to 34x plus 89. Now I look at this. What else can I do? I want x's on one side, so I'm going to put all my x's on this side. So I'm going to minus 34x and minus 25, minus 25, minus 34x. So I'm going to end up getting now 16x is equal to, this is going to be 25, 64. So then x is equal to 4. I divide both sides by 16 centimeters. So now I know that x is equal to 4 centimeters. I could solve for everything else. So we plug 4 into each one of these. So I know my hypotenuse is equal to 5 multiplied by 4 plus 5, which will give me 25. My one side is equal to, or leg is equal to 4 multiplied by 4 plus 8, which is 16 plus 8, which is going to give me 24. And my last one is going to be my other side, or leg, is equal to 3 multiplied by 4, centimeters, 3 multiplied by 4, and then minus 5, subtract 5, which is going to end up giving me 12, subtract 5 is 7 centimeters. So those are all 3 sides, and that's how you do it. Well, hopefully you understood this. Good luck. As I see you tomorrow, we'll work on this together.